let's talk a little bit about what we've seen in terms of campaign launch and how each of the leaders have handled themselves. Maybe what you're seeing from a digital perspective. Give me a sense.
Yeah, for sure. So, in our show last week, we reviewed the new advertisements from each of the major parties and their slogans as well. And we saw, differences and nuances that became very clear when you look at what the parties are putting out there, particularly on a national scale in terms of how they're approaching the electorate and how they're approaching their overall strategy for this election. When we recorded that episode, it was right before we had confirmation of the date of the writ. And then sure enough, a few days later, we get right into the writ period. But it's I think it's the right amount of length for this campaign, about 40 days. It's not so long that people become disinterested, that, media is exhausted by the end of the campaign, that we just don't want to vote by the end of the campaign because we're tired of all of it.
Not like 2015.
No, but it's long enough that each of the parties have some flexibility that if, a bomb goes off in their backyard, so to speak, there's still an opportunity to do some damage control and salvage the race. So it's both short and long. It's kind of that middle spot. But all of the leaders have hit the ground running. They all announced and kicked off their campaigns the very first day of the official election period, all in different parts of the country. And their approach, it's carrying over. They're all using digital primarily and social media as a means to go directly to the voter. And I know we're going to talk about the debate from last night shortly, but notably one of the participants was not there. But I think it kind of plays into that trend. People are on digital and social media. Supporters who they need to engage and acquire are accessible in those channels to them. So rather than, maybe appearing at a debate, you can do a live conference with supporters behind you and get your message out that way instead.